It's time to talk about how Supreme Darkness has been treating me. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more Oscars. So welcome to the tournament experience out here so far for Supreme Darkness for me, actually. I've played in a couple of events so far, and I wanted to talk about the overall experience that I've been having with this meta so far. So you guys know I've been turning my head off, and I've been playing Risaol forever out here. Yes, I am a certified Risaol main, and everybody, you know, I like Pure. I think Pure has probably been one of the fun variants. I love the fact that, you know, I can play more hand traps, I can play desires in the deck, I can play a little bit more arrogantly, or, excuse me, ignorantly, than most people, and I've also got to play Sakitama and things like that, kind of do things. Now, this is also going to be a little bit of a compilation, I guess, for like my friends that have played with me, because I've been helping them out with their deck builds as well. So far, Pure Risaol has been really good in terms of the matchups that I've gone through. There are so many Risaol mirror matches. It's actually freaking insane right now. We had a 15-man event the other day, and 6 people in the room were on Risaol. We had 1 Malice in the room. And the deck, I mean, Malice in Supreme Darkness format is not that hard to deal with Risaol, but it's the infinite circle of the Risaol decks that you have to sit here and go through. I actually, Thursday night, played one of my friends, and, you know, he thrusted into the Featherstorm, and that's all, folks. You know, I boarded in the barrier so that, you know, well, I mean, we left it in because, you know, we can cross out the barrier. No, we died to a Featherstorm. Your opponent makes cast out, goes Featherstorm. That's the experience, ladies and gentlemen. That's all they wrote. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not good enough to beat that. So, and that's I don't know why, you know, that's been coming up a lot more lately. Because, you know, you actually outsmart your opponent because, you know, if you're playing the thrust and you board in the Featherstorm, you make the cast, you set that, it gives you the interaction to blow out your opponent. Your opponent's probably not going to have access to it off the crossout, so they're going to blow you out. Also, Perulia is like the death of this deck. Like, especially when your opponent's main decking Perulia, and they see the Perulia, yeah, I'm sorry. There's nothing that you can do about that. Literally, a normal summon ice, an EX, and a sword is 3 cards that you give to your opponent off of Perulia. And you'll be like, well, Robbie, just do ice and attempt to climb up. Yeah, I would love to do that. Until you're met by an Imperm, an Ash, you know, the other hand trap army out here that cuts you off of that. And then, you know, there's, if you played Risaol, you'll understand that there are just sometimes that you just don't have another monster in your hand. Sometimes it's just like, oops, normal summon ice. Oops, that's all, folks. Sometimes you can only muster 2 inches. Sometimes that's it. That's all, folks. that's the story behind this deck. So, there's that. But I've played a lot of Risaol. Actually, I got to play against another Exodia player. And I will tell you, the Exodia curse has been broken. I know you guys were so excited about that complaining video about me just getting doodlebot by Exodia 3 weeks in a row. I've broken the curse. This deck does not care if there is an Exodia on the field because we will just EX negate it. And I don't have to deal with it anymore. The curse has been lifted. That's super, super exciting. So there's that. My one friend also, we built Mitsurugi Risaol. And, okay, so I just want to put this out there. So, from what we have done for testing for the Mitsurugi Risaol build, the deck is freaking good. Alright, I'm not going to deny that whatsoever. What I'm going to tell you about this deck is not going to surprise anybody, though. If you draw one side of the engine without the other, like if you draw just all Mitsurugi cards, it kind of feels a little bit cloggy. You feel like you're a little bit more susceptible to hand traps, you know, but that's going to be It's that way with a lot of engine decks where you're combining these engines together to try to maximize the results and get those better options. So I'm going to clarify that. It's just unfortunately my friend this weekend had more Mitsurugi cards than a flow of Risaol cards. And that kind of led to some problems. So we're going back to the drawing board. We'll probably see what YCS Orlando, puts on the table for the list and what people are, wanting to see. I've seen Trip out here, testing up. We got Odotic out here. I swear I just saw a Fiendsmith Odotic Risaol 60 card pile, which, okay, you're doing a lot of shenanigans there to achieve something. So I just wanted to put that on the table that in our experience so far, we've tested it. It was a lot of oops, all Mitsurugi, and we will be revisiting that. I still think the deck's very good. I think that there's a lot of cool things to be said about that deck, but man, when it is not your day, it is not your day. There has to be a fine line and engine in that deck. And I think you can cross it. Also, we've been having a lot of Malice. My one friend is a very dedicated Malice main. He loves Malice. He loves all the combo lines. We gutted the Fiendsmith cards out of the deck, which was really weird because, one week we're like, hey, Fiendsmith cards, we need these cards. These cards are so good in the deck. And then we skip ahead a week, and it's like, I hate Fiendsmith cards. We're gutting these out. So this was like 1 week Fiendsmith good, next week Fiendsmith bad. Next week we've gutted out Fiendsmith cards. We have, the new Template Skipper in the deck. Template Skipper just kind of fixed up from our local Malice experience. It feels good. We have a couple Malice players that have not learned the combo lines yet. I think with time and dedication that they'll get better, but there's a clear difference between somebody that just picked up Malice, knows the bare minimum, and somebody's been playing the deck for a little while now. Once you learn those combo lines, it's actually pretty insane. In terms of the rest of my experience, though, Malice is a very good deck. The Mitsurugi deck feels very, very solid. Barabi, you guys tested out Arcana Force. Whatever happened to that? So I'm going to tell you this straight up. We will come back to the Arcana Force thing eventually. My other friend was the one that brought that over for the tabletop experience. You saw the very early build that we had going for that. All right. And he played it at one locals, and unfortunately, he switched over to Risaol. He's like, I'm going to take a break from this. It was we will come back to this later. They just had a case tournament. We will come back to Arcana Force. Patience, all right? It's, we're kind of in that heavy meta season part right now, where, yes, we did get new set. Yes, we do want to test out new ideas, for sure. But there's case tournaments in the area. There's prizing on the line, The fun stuff has to be set aside, and there has to be a chance to do this. Last warning, Meows, I think, is a one-of if you're choosing to play it right now. I don't think that Meows inherently is a bad pickup right now. I think it is probably one of the better cards that you can add to the arsenal of things right now in the Supreme Darkness toolkit. With Supreme Darkness just flooding down in value, there's a lot of cool things in this set to pay attention for. So, Abao AQ being a very good example of that, especially on the Malice line. Still got to test that. We kind of cut it for a code talker testing, but that's a story for another day. But Meows, I think, is probably one of the most underrated things. I want to toss that into the experience out here for this set, because I think you are going to want to have that. The more and more I have played, it feels really good. So overall, my locals experiences have been 2 top 4s. I got doodle bopped out of 1 top 4 by my friend, or having a chance of making first and second. I got destroyed because, mulch armies are really, really good. And, my plugin got crossed out. Feels extremely good. And then the next day, my other friend was just better than me, and one draw on cross was an Ash, and that won the game. So, yeah, it's the Risaol experience. So please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.